In this series, I'm going to be showing you how to make an RPG from scratch, something like this, where it has a dialogue system with choices, and also an inventory, along with traveling between different rooms with transitions. So let's get started. Hello everybody. Okay, today we're starting part 3 of the RPG series, where I will be showing you today how to do room transitions and moving between different rooms. So last episode we created this living room and made depth and props, along with doing wall tile collisions. Now I did make a little layout of different rooms, where we have 3 bedrooms in this house. The main area, which we saw last video, and then an upstairs, which leads from these stairs here. But obviously we have no way of interacting with them or going to them. So the first thing we're going to do is just handle actually moving between rooms. So we're going to create an object called, let's call it OTP. So this is going to be where we, pretty much a collider that we will teleport using. And we're just going to create a sprite for this, so it is easier to see in the actual game. We're going to make it like a turquoise. And we're going to set that there. Now, we're going to actually, and it's pretty rare for me to do this, but since we're going to have multiple of the same object, we're going to go into variable definitions for this. And we're going to put TP ID. Default to 0, and it's a real. And that is it. Now we're going to go into the living room and just throw this TP right here. We want it to just, and you see how we have a wall collision here technically. This needs to make sure the player can actually touch it when they start going up the stairs. We will just kind of see here, make sure the player overlaps it properly, which it does right there. It'll definitely teleport. So now, it doesn't do anything yet. Now we're going to add another and call this room 2. Yeah, we're going to do TP ID and room 2. And now, why we're doing a TP ID, we need to know which area we need to be in when we actually go into that room. So, and then we have the room we actually need to go to, which we're actually going to do a, let's see, asset. And it's going to be default RM. We're just going to do living room for default. Now, we need to make one more object called OTP. Let's see. Point. And we're actually going to put an underscore here. So we have a TP and TP point. Now, we're going to make a sprite for this as well. And we're actually going to do a, let's delete that. We're going to do a green circle. And yeah, that's fine. Whatever you can think of it is what it does. So now we're going to go into the living room here. So all the places that we would be able to teleport to, these are going to be marked with these points. And before we do anything, let's actually make a variable definition here and call this TP ID. And that's going to be important because that's what it's going to be looking for when you go to the next room. And now we're going to go to the upstairs. It's going to have quite a few areas to TP. Now we just want it slightly extruding from here. And this one might be a little annoying for most people. So we're just going to wedge it in the wall a bit, so they really have to try to get in there. So if they're walking along here, they don't just get teleported in. Now, the TP point here in this room is here. And then we do have a TP right here. And we'll actually put it further down. and that's the TP point there. Now we actually need TP points outside of each of these rooms as well, because these are possible ways to just pretty much any entry and re-entry point. Like here, the stairs in, out. We'll eventually do the front door, but we don't have an exterior. But the upstairs entry and exit point. Go to the bedroom 1. This is where we will put that, and we're actually gonna, let's see here. Let's move the player out of the way just so it doesn't get confusing. We're gonna put this a bit further in, just because, and the player won't be visible, so you can kind of ignore that. So that's bedroom 1. Let's go to bedroom 2 here. We're just gonna do the exact same things. Make sure you get used to this, so we will be doing it a lot. Or I guess you will be doing it a lot if you have a very large game. But trust me, once this is set up, it's going to be so much easier to get anything done in these games. Just make sure the player doesn't collide with that when he first comes in. Okay, so now once you have all those set, now we can actually start thinking about the IDs I mentioned, the TP ID and the room 2. So now, this is actually going to be done in the editor here. So if you double click on one of the TPs, you can actually hit variables, and now you can see here there's a room 2. Just hit the override, and now this is from the living room, and we need to bring this upstairs. So we're going to do that. Oops. It's not autofilling. There we are. And then TP ID, we're just going to keep that as 0. And now that's super important, because now, so we will go from downstairs to upstairs. Now we go upstairs. The TP point, that TP ID is 0. So that is how we're going to sense that. Now this one, we just need to set the room 2 to living room, and it's already 0. And then we also have this one set to 0. So those are already synced perfect. So now if we go upstairs, what we're going to do here is we're now going to order these to be, so TP ID, so this is going to that TP ID in the room we're going to, which each of these bedrooms only have one exit point. So we actually can leave that as 0, but the room 2 is the thing we have to change. So the room 2 is going to be room, this is bedroom 3. Just whatever way you have it laid out, just make sure you have that. And of course, there's also the testing that you can do to actually ensure that everything works properly. But you shouldn't have too many issues with the system. Okay. Now, this is where it's important. Now, if we have more than one of these green TP points, we can't have them all be 0, because then it won't know which one to go to. So I'm going to do it based on the room numbers. This is going to be 1. This is going to be bedroom 2. Oops, that's a 1. And then this one's going to be bedroom 3. So now that we have that, super important. Now we're going to go to bedroom 1. Make sure this TP point, first set it up for the proper room. And now this is actually room 1, so that's the TP ID 1 from where it was upstairs, right here. This is 1. So now we have that set up, and this is 0. Remember, as it always goes to 0 from upstairs. This is only one exit point. Now if we go to room 2, we need to make sure to do upstairs. Oops. That's weird that it doesn't autofill. And then 2. Now we're going to go to here and do 3. And this is going to be the upstairs as well. And I like this system mainly because you don't have to have a different object for every single teleport. You only need 2 objects, handle all of it. Now, none of it works yet. So what we're going to do is actually make it work. So if you go into the TP, that's actually going to be the main thing that we need. So we're going to make a step event. We are going to say if place meeting XY O player, so it's sensing collision with the player. That means we need to set the room the player is in to the room 2. So room 2, we're going to say room equals room 2. Okay, it is seen. Cool. And then we're also going to say O player. Actually, var x2 equals 0, var y2 equals 0. We need to find the coordinates of where we're actually going. So set room, go to TP point. So this is why those TP points were needed. We're going to say with actually, you know what? Actually, here, we need a separate object, TP handler. And we're going to make this persistent and put it in your first room. Okay. So now that we have those set up here, we need to make sure we go into the TP handler and make sure you put that in the main room, and make sure on the object itself it says persistent. And now we're going to say TP point 2 equals no one. And now on other room start, if TP point, what did we name that? Yeah, TP point 2 is not equal to no one. And we're just going to say equals no one again, just so it doesn't do it again. And we're going to say with actually, I'm going to set it to -1 instead, so we actually don't want to do inheritance there. We're going to say with O TP point if TP ID, is that what we called it? TP ID? Yeah, TP ID is equal to other dot TP point, because this is in this object, not with TP point. Then we are going to say, actually make some room here, O player dot x equals x, O player dot y equals y. Now we need to make sure on our TP, where we don't actually need that now, we just need to say OTP handler dot TP point 2 equals TP ID. And what that will do, we're actually just going to do that above, just like that. What that's going to do, it's going to set the point we need to be at when we go to the room, and then it's going to set our position to that. So now if you run this, hopefully first try, that'll bring, yep, upstairs. This will be bedroom 3. And ignore what the camera's doing right now, but that is working as intended perfectly. Perfect. And now, just to fix that camera issue, we're going to go to the camera. We're actually going to copy this line here, and we're going to say on room start, then we're going to say x equals follow object.x and y equals follow object.y. And that should hopefully, yep, that now tracks our camera and instantly sets it when the room starts. And now it doesn't look the greatest when you switch in between rooms, but that is why we're going to be doing room transitions next and getting that working proper. But now we have a TP system, which is super easy to use, as long as you remember the IDs properly. But now we're going to make that room transition. So make a new object, call it room transition. And it's going to be a similar thing that we did with the TP. We're going to say room 2 equals no one. and then room previous equals no one, just to make it easy. And now we are going to say, in the step event, if room 2 is not equal to room previous, then room previous equals room 2. And that'll kind of reset and trigger when we need to do that. And then we're going to say, in the create event, actually, we're going to need an alpha. And we're going to set this to 0. And now we're going to say alpha equals lerp alpha to 1 by let's do 0.2. And then if alpha is greater than 0.99, room equals room 2. So once it fades into black, it will switch the room. And then also, I forgot to mention, make this persistent as well. And then if the room is switched, this will be set right there. And then we're going to do an else. Alpha equals a lerp to 0. Now, this won't actually do anything. So we're going to do a draw end. And just do draw rectangle 0, 0, room height, room width, room height. And now it's going to say outline, but false. And then we're going to say draw set color. And then you're going to want to do whatever color you actually want here. I'm going to use my color for my darkest, which is not actually black. And if you want to do something like this, it's make color RGB, and you just pass in the RGB value, which in mine, that's 45, 30, 47. I just completely forgot those numbers. Hold up. Let me get that pull up to my side monitor here. 45, 30, 47. We're going to set the color to that. And then we're also going to say draw set alpha of alpha. And then afterwards, reset it to 1. Just like that. Now, make sure that is in your first area. In my case, it is the living room. So the the room handler, room transition, what am I saying? Now, with the TP, instead of saying room equals room 2, we're going to say, instead of that, we're going to say room transition dot room 2. And that's how you're going to switch rooms with the transition. And then you're going to say room 2. Now, if we run this, should hopefully see, yep, it now fades to black before it switches the room. Or fades to the color of choice. Now, it's also annoying to see all this stuff in-game. So we're just going to go into here at the create event. Actually, no need for that. We're just going to toggle visibility right here on those. And now, boom, no longer visible, still functional. And that is how room transitions work. Anyways, if this video is helpful or if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I can help resolve any issues you may have. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next episode.